All right, so I appreciate Mr. Gamlin for giving me a great introduction. So this is what's going to happen. I need to make sure that I raise the vibrational energy in this room. So I'm going to call out to everybody in this room, and I'm going to say, whose time is it? And you're going to say, it's my time. So I'm going to call out, and you're going to say, my time, after I say, whose time is it? So whose time is it?
My time.
Let me get more energy because I want these walls to vibrate. Whose time is it?
My time.
Whose time is it?
My time.
The second call out is going to be, who is it? And you're going to say, just us. So who is it?
Just us.
Who is it?
Just us.
Who is it?
Just us.
This is you guys' time. And when I say my time, it is an acronym for master yourself. Master yourself. Because as Mr. Gamlin alluded to, all of you have an opportunity in front of you in which you can change the trajectory of not only your life, but the lives of your family and in your community. And so I take this very personal because 5 older brothers and sisters of mine all started college and none of them finished. And so my determination when I went to college was to make sure that I made it. I didn't know where I was going when I was in my senior year. I didn't have the program like Midnight Golf, Mr. Gamlin, Mr. Ambrose, Ms. Renee Fluker, who I know loves this program very dearly. I didn't have these mentors sitting over here on the side to be able to coach me and to cultivate my talents and my skills in terms of being the person that I am today. I didn't have all that. But what I did have is 5 older brothers and sisters that told me that they did not finish, and I used that as determination for me to be able to go and to complete the process, because I knew that one day I would have nieces and nephews, one day kids of my own, that I wanted to be able to say to them that your father finished, that your uncle finished. And so that is the reason why when I went to U of M Dearborn, over the summer, I had a basketball camp that I became the MVP for, and the coach said to me, do you want to go to school here? And I said yes. He gave me an application. I took that application, filled it out. He took my application the next day to the admissions office, and that's how I got into U of M Dearborn. I made a commitment to my family that in 4 years, I would complete the journey. In my senior year, I had to double up on credits because I was obviously further away than I thought I should be in terms of being able to finish the journey. So from there, I finished and completed what I said that I was going to start. And so what I'm here to say to all of you in this room today is that you have a critical moment in front of you. This program is an opportunity, but the question becomes, what are you going to do with that opportunity? You guys have about 4 weeks left in this program. And maybe you were here because your parents said that this was a good program for you. Maybe you're here because someone in your school showed you that they had a great experience, and you latched onto that and said, let me have that opportunity myself. Maybe you're here because you knew that there was something inside of you that you needed to birth into the world, like a dream, a goal, an aspiration. And so my hope with this presentation with you today is that you understand that the responsibility is yours. Because when you leave this program and you graduate from high school and you graduate from Midnight Golf, the opportunity will be yours. No longer Mr. Gamblin's, no longer Miss Renee, no longer these mentors over on the side here. It's going to be yours. So, master yourself, and today that's what we're going to be talking about. So I hope you got some notes, because I'm going to be giving you some things that's going to help you be able to elevate your mind, but also elevate your state of being, so that way that you can be successful when you get to college, because it's not just good to get you into college. If you're not successful when you get there, if you don't get that diploma, then there's something that you're missing, because every degree is like a passport. And what do we do with the passport? We go from one port to the next. So that's what this degree is going to give you. So I've been very fortunate to have the opportunity to get to know Maya Angelou's grandson. And one of the quotes that he always talks about is the one that I put here on the board. When you learn, teach. When you get, give. When you learn, teach. When you get, give. So the first thing I'm going to give for you to write down is to write down success. Go ahead and write down success. And I'm here to tell you that success is for yourself. Write that down. Success is for yourself. Success is for yourself. Greatness is when you use your success to help somebody else. I'm going to say that again. Success is for yourself. Greatness is when you use your success to help somebody else. The reason why I love this program, and I was a mentor years ago, is because you have people like Mr. Gamblin who are already successful, who don't need to do this, who don't need to spend this time. You have people like Miss Renee who's already made it. She's set. She's good. But here's the thing. You getting a job that's successful. You get your college diploma or your degree that's successful. You get a house that's successful. But it's not until you take your success and you help somebody else that you become great. Think about any of our great leaders. Dr. King, Nelson Mandela, LeBron James. What do? They give their success and they help others. So that's what you have to understand, is that this moment is very important because we need you guys to be successful. Because when you get back into your communities, my question is, do you become a ripple of hope for either your brother, your sister, or for someone on your block, or for a cousin, a neighbor? How many of you in here have younger siblings? Look at those hands. You have a responsibility, because what you can do is raise the level of hope and opportunity for what they can see in their future. And don't take that lightly, because just as much as I told you that I have 5 older brothers and sisters that started college and didn't finish, one of my sisters went back and got her associate's degree. Another sister went back and got her associate's degree. My brother's currently going back. And they've said to me, Adam, because of you showing us the way, even though you are our little brother, you became our bigger brother. So what I'm saying to all of you in here today is that when you get, you give. When you learn, you teach. When you gain your success, you reach back and you help somebody else. Because that's what greatness is all about. That's what greatness is all about. So let me say this. I can't tell you how important this is. And after this, I literally have 3 points, and I'm going to get out of your way. It is going to be so important for you to understand who you are. And if you have not figured this out, one of the keys to success of when you get into college is that you embrace who you are. Everything in the world has a definition. The very table that you're sitting at has a definition. The chair that you're sitting at or sitting in has a definition. My question to you is, how do you define yourself? Because how you define yourself or how you don't define yourself will tell me a lot about what your journey is going to look like. If you do not define yourself for yourself, somebody will. I'm going to say that again. If you do not define yourself for yourself, somebody will. I am the brown clay that God scooped from the sand. He molded me, then blessed me with his own 2 hands. He breathed life into my lungs, and he set me upon the land. I'm God's finest creation, and he called me man. I'm the beginning of humanity, intelligent and strong. My life will be full, my days will be long. My mind is the birthplace of philosophy and mathematics, positions of stars, motions of planets, I know the schematics. Creator of civilization, master of architectural design. Knowledge and understanding and wisdom flow from my mind. In my heart pumps the rich blood of kings and queens. I'm the descendant of those who knew all things. Adam and Eve, Noah, Moses, and Abraham, the blessed Muhammad are just a part of who I am. Formed in the womb of God's most perfect gift. The black woman with the perfect skin, full lips and hips. The angels even look down while doing protective duty. And they secretly wish they possessed her beauty. I am her child, I am her father, I am her brother, I am her lover. God is the only thing I can place above her. I am the beginning, I am the end. I am what moves you. I am only beginning to truly understand who I am. I am God's glory. I am God's love. I am the black man. If you do not define yourself for yourself, somebody will. You have to define yourself and have a definition so that way when you go off to whether it's a PWI, an HBCU, you go out into the world, you can make an impact that is larger than yourself, that the vibrational energy that comes from within you begins to spread and begins to provide hope for others. Do not allow yourself to be defined by somebody else and some other variable outside of yourself, because you have lost before you have begun. Define yourself for yourself. So, I'm giving you 3 points and then I'm moving out of your way. So I hope, again, you can take notes. When I was a kid, my dad we would always wake up as a family and we would read scripture, we would meditate and pray, and he would always give these Bible scriptures that I did not always understand exactly what they meant. And it's not until I got older that I began to recognize the power of scripture, but the power of principles. And one of those scriptures is on the board, and it says, "For many are called, but few are chosen." And that always perplexed my mind as to why it was that there's a lot of people that are called, but only a few are chosen. And what I'm here to suggest to you today, in my own rationale, in my own belief, is the reason why that there's only a few that are chosen is because there's only a few who are willing to answer the call. It's not that the people that are chosen are anything unique. It's not that the people that are chosen have anything special about them. It's not that the few that are chosen are anything outstanding or extraordinary. It is because those who are chosen have been willing to answer their call. And so all I've been doing in my life, each and every day, one step at a time, is being willing to answer the call. And that's all Midnight Golf is doing for all of you guys in this room, is that it is a call out to you to become better and to be the best version of yourself that you can be, to master yourself, to be great, to share what you have inside of you with the world. Let me ask this question. How many of you in here are going through a challenge right now? See all the hands? And guess what? Let me just share this with you. Welcome to life. Because what I can promise you is that no matter how long you live, you will always be dealing with challenges. But check this out. I was listening to an interview with Kobe Bryant, and Kobe Bryant said something to me that was very powerful. And he said, "I loved losing." Somebody tell me why Kobe Bryant would say, "I love losing." So we can learn, become better. Were you about to say something? Learn from his mistakes. That's exactly it. He said, that's the only time I can learn. 5-time NBA champion. multiple MVPs. This guy who loved winning said that the only time he could learn was when he lose. Write this on your paper. We do not win or lose. We win or learn. We do not win or lose. We win or we learn. And my question to you is if we win or learn, do we ever lose? We don't lose, right? If you're learning, because the goal is to be able to move forward past your mistakes. The goal is that whatever you go through and that you have to grow through in life, that you become better, not bitter. That your stumbling blocks become stepping stones. That your misery becomes ministry. That your pain allows you to have something to gain. That's why we lose or we learn. We don't lose. So what I'm suggesting to you is this. When you go off to college and you get that first failed test, do not look at it as failure. Look at it as a learning opportunity. Because it's coming. There's going to be a class that you don't do as well in. There's going to be an experience in which somebody challenges you and you don't do the best. But my question is what are you going to learn from that experience? That way that you can move forward and become better and not bitter. Because it's not about, again, you starting college. It's about you finishing. And so we need you guys to learn along the journey in the moments that you feel like you're failing, because it's not failure. It's only failure when you stop, when you quit. So I'm asking you, don't give up, because there's someone that's looking up to you. There's someone who needs you. Our community needs you. Your family needs you. Your brothers and sisters need you. We need you to learn, and we need you to answer your call. So whose time is it? Come on, let's raise the energy. Whose time is it? Whose time is it? Who is it? Who is it? Who is it? First point. Is it going to go? All right, so you're going to see that I love The Matrix. And if you haven't watched that movie, or if you haven't seen that movie, I would suggest that you do. It's very powerful in terms of Neo being able to answer his own call. But I want you to write these two words down: process, progress. Process, progress. Process, progress. You may notice that I capitalized the C in process, and I capitalized the GR in progress. And so under process, I want you to write down these 4 words: cuts, challenges, conditions, change. Cuts, challenges, conditions, and change. When you go off to college, what I can promise you is you're going to experience all 4 of those words. Whether it be that you go to a PWI and somebody looks at you with a look that like you don't belong. That's going to be a challenge for you. When you go off to college and you get some news that, let's say, someone in your family passed away, because I promise you it's going to happen. That may be a cut you're going to have to experience. When you go off to college and you find out that, you know what, I didn't put in as much studying as I needed to, and now I got to find a way to kind of make up some work. And I need to be able to go into the tutoring center, the writing center, the math center. You have some conditions that you have to overcome. But understand this: if you can make it through the process, because everything in life is a process, whether it be a relationship, whether it be college, whether it be buying a new home, whether it be this experience right here today, the Midnight Golf Program, it's all a process. You need to make it through your process to get to your progress. So write down these 4 words under progress: gratitude, grace, growth, and graduate. Gratitude, grace, growth, and graduate. When you walk the stage of your high school years, sometimes you'll notice, for those that you've already seen, they begin to cry. And a lot of times the reason is because people begin to reflect back on all the cuts and the challenges that they've had to face. But when you recognize the fact that you made it, and you made it over the hump or the slumps that you've gone through, that's when you can understand that there was grace that may have carried you. You have many moments to be grateful for, which is what gratitude is all about. So I hope in these last 4 weeks you take time to say thank you to your mentors who are here every week pouring life into you. Because they didn't have to do it, but they did. They didn't have to do it, but they did. I hope you can look back on your processes and recognize the growth of how far you've come. But what's interesting about the word graduate is that the root word is gradual. Every day, you should be gradually getting better. Every day, you should be becoming a better version of yourself. Every day, you should not be the same person that you was yesterday. So trust the process, and you will see progress. If you trust the process, you will see progress. That's point number 1. These are keys to success, guys. Key number 2, write these 4 words down: think, believe, faith, achieve. Think, believe, faith, achieve. My dad used to tell me a scripture: as a man thinketh, so is he. And when I was a kid, I didn't understand that. But I'm telling you that these 4 words that are on the screen right now, if you read any self-help book, these 4 words will constantly come up. But these 4 words are also what they're trying to impress upon you. Can somebody tell me what you think about when you see these 4 words in natural progression? What do you think about? Okay, in what sense? Absolutely. Who else? Anybody else? Any other thoughts? Yes. Absolutely. So listen, guys, check this out. Yes, go ahead.
I think with self-confidence, just having confidence in yourself and knowing that you're able to think positive things about yourself, to believe in those things, have faith that you can attain what you want in life, and achieve all your goals.
Thank you. So listen, you guys get it. But let me also just give you another perspective of this. So as a man thinketh, so is he. How many of you guys can see yourself in college right now? So what that tells me is that you have an idea in your mind of where it is you want to be, and also what it is you want to accomplish. That's the thought. How many of you guys have applied to college? Thank you. So you've already started the next 2 steps without you maybe even knowing it. Because you don't kick into action unless you believe in something truly. And you also have to recognize that faith is simply corresponding actions with what you say you believe. That's why if we take this scripture, or take this into biblical terms, that's why it says faith without works is dead. Because you cannot say you have faith if you're not willing to put in the work. But here's the thing. If you think on something long enough, it turns into what you believe. If you believe on something long enough, it turns into faith because you begin to act out the things that you say you believe. And then the longer you faith something, you actually achieve the very thing you started off as a thought. But watch this. All four of those words have the letter I in the middle. Because it takes you to think, it takes you to believe, it takes you to have faith, it takes you to achieve. But you know what? I'm going to give you one more word that I didn't put on the slides for a reason. And jot this down. Sacrifice. Because what I can promise you is you're going to have to give up something to get something. You're going to have to give up something to get something. So when I was in college, there was many days that I had to be in the library until 12 o'clock at night. There were many birthday parties and times with family that I missed. And I had to tell them, this is so important to me that I need to manifest my future. I had to give up something to get something. And so it's not because I'm so special. I went into college with a 2.7 cumulative GPA, 18 on ACT, for anybody that understands the ATC score, TC scores, that is half the score of what you're able to get. So I was not the smartest, I was not the brightest coming out of high school, but what I promise you was that I was willing to sacrifice. I was willing to put in the work. And so what I'm saying to you is that these four words in natural progression help you to achieve dreams that begin with just an idea and just a thought. I just gave you a cheat code to every self-help book you're ever going to read. But if you also look at that word sacrifice, you'll notice that also the letter I is in the middle. Because it's going to take you to sacrifice. So I'm telling you guys right now, if you think it long enough, you're going to believe. You believe it long enough, you'll faith it. If you faith it long enough, you'll achieve it. But you need to sacrifice in order for this to come to pass. So understand, think, believe, faith, achieve. Last one. Jot this down. Check out, check in, and check up. Check out, check in, and check up. Understand something. That I asked the question, how many of you guys are going through struggle? And quite a few of you raised your hand. Let me start off by saying it this way. I had a mentor that said to me, your 5 closest friends will determine what you think, say, and do. Your 5 closest friends determine what you think, say, and do. So I would ask you, as you're getting ready to make this transition from now and into college, you need to begin to survey who you have in your life and who you consider to be friends. Because everybody right now that you call a friend may not just necessarily be your friend. How many of you guys, if you be honest with me, know that you need to shed some people in your life right now? And you know what? I'm telling you right now, that happens throughout your life. There are some people that are not meant for you and not meant for the journey. So when I say check out, what I mean by that is that when you're going through things, you may need to take a moment and to check out from all the variables and all the things that are happening around you. Every morning, before I go to work, at 5:30 in the morning, I'm waking up to meditate and to pray. I have to do it. At this point, the number of people I'm connected to, at this point, the number of students who reach out to me, at this point being an uncle, a son, a brother, a mentor, a director of a program, I have to. Because if I don't, I feel like I'm in reaction to the day and not being proactive in my day. I have to check out. I have to take the moment to give myself solitude and to also ground myself in being grateful for all the things that God has put in my journey and in my life. So you need to discover a time in your life that you can check out from all the things around you, social media included. I do an exercise where I ask how many people have social media in terms of when you're looking at your feed where more than 50% is negative. Raise your hand if that may be you in the room. If you're honest, if you can be honest, how many of you guys have 50% of the stuff that you're reading to be negative, at least? Okay, there's maybe some honest people and some that are not honest. But let me say this to you, because negative energy and negative thoughts are like cancer to the mind. Negative thoughts are like cancer to the mind, because just as much as I told you guys about think, believe, faith, achieve, you think on negative thoughts long enough, you begin to believe it. You believe it long enough, and you start wondering why I'm not worthy of an opportunity. You walk into an interview feeling defeated even before you even have the interview. Some of you guys are applying to colleges and right now, and you're just hoping that you get in. Not believing that you've been given the tools and you the resources to actually go there and to be successful. So whether it's an Ivy League school, an HBCU, or PWI, it doesn't matter which school it is, the model was set up by people who looked like us. And when you understand that and you believe that, then you walk in with your head held high. You walk in knowing that this is my opportunity, this is my moment. So the next one is check in. You need to check in with your mentors. When you have moments that you feel discouraged, that you feel like, you know what, I'm not at my best, you need to check in with your mentors and people who are going to hold you accountable to the things that you say that you want and that you desire in your life. Ladies and gentlemen in this room, your dreams are real. You know why your dreams are real? Because your dreams are you. Your dreams are you. And I'm going to tell you right now that there's going to be people that you say and give your dreams to that are not going to understand why you have that dream. And guess what? That's okay, because the dream was not given to them. Your dream of going to college, your dream of being successful, your dream of being able to help your family, all of that is real. Don't count that out because someone else doesn't understand it. The dream wasn't given to them. So when I was talking about shedding some people out of your life, part of it is because if they're not going to be able to believe in your dream, you don't need that negative energy around you. But you do need mentors around you. You do need these people that have invested in your life in your senior year to be around you. You do need Mr. Gamlin. You do need a Mr. Coffee. You do need a Peyton. You're going to need those people throughout your life to be able to help you grow and develop into the people that you're called to be. And if you don't have that positive energy around you, what's going to happen is at times you're going to feel depressed. You're going to feel like I'm not worthy. I can't do this. Whatever it may be, you're going to need that positive energy around you. Every day, I am checking in with mentors. Because at this point, I'm connected to students that are all across this country that I cannot be there specifically for at every moment in time. So my prayers that go up, my thoughts and good energy that is given towards their way, is to hope that they're making the decisions and the choices that are going to be in the best interest of themselves. Not the decisions that are going to be careless and just decisions that are not going to lead them into the positive things that are going to help them build up their lives. So you need to check in with your mentors. Lastly, you need to check up. And I'm going to say this, and this is with all humility, but at the same time, all sincerity. If you have not figured out a spiritual practice, I promise you, it is going to come to you in college. If you have not found a spiritual practice, you may need to develop one. And what I mean by that is we have a lot of conversations about mental health, but what I've learned is that we have not had enough conversations about spiritual health. When I see young men with their pants sagging, that doesn't bother me. Because I always tell professionals that I'm not so concerned about sagging pants as I am about sagging dreams. Because I know that if you can pull a person's dreams up, if you can pull a person's hopes up, if you can pull a person's faith up, when they walk into rooms, they'll pull their pants up. But young men in this room, let me also say something to you while I'm on that topic. Males like to be served. Men like to be of service. I'm going to say that again. And even for the young ladies, this may help you out. Males like to be served. Men like to be of service. The reason why I need you to go off into college and to get your degree is so that way one day you can be of service to your family, to your community, to others. That's what real men do. That's what men do, is we serve our community. We are there. We are present like these men are in the room, like Mr. Gamlin giving up his time. That's what men do. So any other perspective beyond that, where you're waiting on something, you're waiting on somebody to give you something, that's not manhood. So I know that this is probably giving you a nice picture in your mind that unfortunately we got a lot of males in our society and not a lot of men. Because males like to be served. Men like to be of service. And ladies, if you picked up on that, you just got a key to what to look for. Because when you finally have that moment where you want a husband, who are you looking for? Right? Who are you looking for? You looking for somebody that you're going to serve all the time and not willing to be of service? Right? I just gave you a great key that's going to help you throughout life. And if you can figure that out, that helps you categorize males and men. And I didn't even give that yesterday, but it just came on my spirit to share that. So my young men that's in this room, I need you to get your success and to get your diploma and to get your degree so that way that one day we can serve these young ladies in this room and to be present for our families, to be present for your kids, to be present in your community, because that's what we're missing. But I'm going to go back to that last point and I'm going to say check up, because if you don't have also a spiritual practice of something that you can connect to that's going to be able to give you hope and give you spirituality and give you faith for everything that you have to go through in life, at times it's going to feel like you are wandering through life and just drifting. So check out, check in, and check up. Check out, check in, and check up. I'm closing on this. Mr. Gamblin mentioned that right now many of you guys are facing decisions. And I understand that sometimes decisions can be very fearful, or obviously can bring some anxiety as to what decision you need to make. And because of fear, a lot of times we can become paralyzed, because that's what fear does to you. It actually paralyzes your mind, paralyzes your mentality as to what you can do. So I came across a poem by Marianne Williamson who said, "Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We were all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it is within everyone. And as you let your own light shine, you unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. I'm going to say that last line one more time. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Our very presence automatically liberates others. So when I talk with students, you have two options with fear. You can either face everything and rise, or you can forget everything and run. You can either face everything and rise, or forget everything and run. My challenge to all of you in this room, the class of 2023, Midnight Golf graduates, is to face everything and rise. Rise to the occasion. Rise in this moment. Rise to becoming a better version of yourself. Rise to being willing to go off and get your degree so that way you can come back and serve your community. Rise to continue to give hope to others who may not see hope in themselves. Rise so that way that we can continue to build a community that will have unity and hope for the future. Thank you so much, guys, for your time.